Welcome to LANTITEPrep.com's lesson all about interpreting and calculating ATAR, or Australian Tertiary Admission Rank. By the end of this lesson, you have the knowledge to interpret ATAR scores, compare them, and understand how they relate to rankings and percentiles. Beginning with, what is an ATAR? The ATAR is a percentile ranking used to measure how a student has performed relative to their peers. It is not a percentage of marks, but rather a rank. For example, an ATAR of 85 means the student performed better than 85% of other students. This ranking helps university admissions determine future eligibility into their programs. Next, moving on to key features of an ATAR. Keep in mind that an ATAR score ranges from 0 to 99.95, with the highest score achievable being just under 100. This rank is calculated based on the aggregate scores of a student's best subjects, and it's designed to compare students on a national level for university admissions. Now, let's have a look at an example of an ATAR. If you receive a question on exam day, for example, a student has an ATAR of 90. Understand that this means they outperform 90% of students in their year group. Furthermore, that they are in the top 10% of students nationally, which can give them a competitive edge in university admissions. Up next, your LANTITE exam will likely ask you to demonstrate your understanding of interpreting ATAR scores. It's essential to remember that a higher ATAR represents better relative performance in comparison to peers. A lower ATAR, on the other hand, means the student ranks lower in their cohort. Note as well that this is a percentile rank, not a reflection of the raw score or percentage of marks they achieved. Up next is comparing ATAR scores. Let's compare two students, one with an ATAR of 85 and the other with an ATAR of 75. The student with an ATAR of 85 outperformed 85% of their cohort, while the student with an ATAR of 75 outperformed 75%. The difference between these two is significant, even though their raw scores might not be dramatically different. But how about ATAR calculation? While the exact calculation of an ATAR score is complex and typically done by specialized systems, it's based on the aggregate scores from a student's best subjects. For example, a student with a total aggregate score of 250 might receive an ATAR of 80, meaning they performed better than 80% of their cohort. So let's move on to our practice question. Here's a practice question to test your understanding. If a student has an ATAR of 88, what does that mean? Take a look at the answer options and select the one you feel fits best. Ready? Great. An ATAR of 88 means they performed better than 88% of other students, putting them in the top 12% of their year group. To wrap up, remember that the ATAR is a ranking system based on how students perform relative to one another. It's essential for interpreting student rankings in Australia, but doesn't reflect raw scores. Want the test prep that makes passing your LANTITE simple? Visit us at LANTITEPrep.com and get instant access today. Thanks so much for watching.